Put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique the Prima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique the Prima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Happy Friday. Good morning. God bless. I'm Dominique DePrima. This show is called First Things First. It's called Friday First Things First, special edition. And my first thing every single day is prayer, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and then we go. That's what we do. We go, go, go. We got a lot to do, a lot to talk about, much fellowship, friendship, a little BS. You know, we got it all for you around here. So this is how we do things on a Freedman Friday, because every Friday is a Freedman Friday. Hour one, we look local, what's going on left coast side of town. Increasingly, I find that is intersecting with the whole wide world. Hour two, we do reparations. We talk about reparations because we made a commitment a couple of years ago to not waver in our focus on reparations. We can win this. We are winning this. And the way to continue to push the envelope and move the needle is to be informed, to support what's already happening, and to know what's in motion. And then, of course, hour three is always a grab bag. Well, as you may know, probably know if you listen to this show, if you're part of this delegation, Bone Thugs and Harmony got their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on day before yesterday. So we are going to reprise the conversation that we had with Crazy Bone. Not Lazy, who didn't quite make it, but Crazy Bone, who was here on this show. And we're going to reprise that. And then afterwards, I've got some thoughts, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss them. Yeah, I'm going to be talking my stuff today in honor of the fact that I've been reminded by some younger ones, some of my millennial and Gen Z friends, that I have now ascended to the rank of, well, elder? Chronologically gifted, OG, whatever that is. I got thoughts. I do indeed. And anyway, little thoughts, some show and tell. Oh yeah, we're gonna do all that in hour three. So lots to talk about, lots to do. We're gonna have fun like we always do. We have fun. We are the calm at the eye of the storm that is America right now. We got you. We got each other. We're good. Miles is here. Miles Low Music. If you haven't bought it yet, get on that. MilesLowMusic.com. We're trying to push this man up to whatever it is, at least 200, right?
Yeah, we're trying to get 200. Are you okay, Dominique? Like you said, OG, like it hurts. Like I'm OG.
I got thoughts.
It stings a little bit.
I got thoughts. Oh, it doesn't sting me, but it's finna sting some other people.
Okay.
It's all good though, because yeah. Well, we'll get into that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. No, I'm good. I'm actually great. I'm a humble person. I'm a godly person, and so a lot of times I keep myself in check and don't talk that stuff because I feel like I meditate every day. I stay positive. I feel like it's part of my job to keep us focused and positive as a community. And then sometimes you gotta say some things. That's
Pop
all.
out and show it, you know what I mean?
Pretty much hop out, hair out. Anyway, guess what? It's every other Friday. Oh, and some folks have been asking me about our dear friend Sherry Bell, who has been MIA the past couple months. Well, we certainly did not fire her or let her go. She's still one of my friends, but her day job got more demanding, and she was not able to dedicate the time to us every other Friday. But she will be popping up here and there. She's still an associate and contributor of this show. It's just it will be a little bit more rare. Anyway, but guess who is here? So far, we've been able to keep him on board, even though his day job is also very demanding. He is the president and founder of ES Advisors, which does advising, just like the name says, on electoral campaigns and policy campaigns as well. He is a contributor here at KBLA. Ed Sanders, good morning.
Good morning. I'm out here advising. I love it.
You're out here advising. Can I get some advice this morning, Mr. Sanders? Yeah, and I know one of the big projects you're working on right now is the LA Jazz Festival, and I am very, very excited about that. It's less than a month away. This is the first time ever. I mean, we have the Gardena Jazz and the Mert Jazz and Long Beach Jazz and the Playboy Jazz. We've got all these little festivals, some of them free, but this is a massive, mammoth footprint, something that LA probably should have had, 5 decades ago, but it's here now.
It is, and I'm equally excited. It's an opportunity to showcase. When you start with just the story and the origin of jazz, it really is an opportunity to explore how the pain of slavery and the birth of jazz have influenced the music world. And so you move from jazz across a few genres and you see the influence. And we've built a lineup for 17 days, over 150 artists.
That's amazing.
100 events across, Southern California. The closing weekend is huge. That's out on Dockweiler Beach that Saturday and Sunday.
That's what I'm talking about, reclaiming our beach.
Exactly. The whole story of jazz is a lifting up of the Pan-African experience, and we've tried to be very intentional in the development of the events and the locations where we're doing a lot of this, and we want to make it accessible. So you'll see a number of Jazz in the Park series that takes place in several parks across Los Angeles and LA County, and those are free. You'll see those if you go to the website at lajazzfestival.com, and we're really excited about that, just to be able to deliver some free concerts so people can close out their summer with any number of events that LA Jazz Festival is producing over the 17-day period.
Well, and don't get caught sleeping on this KBLA delegation, because aside from that jazz, the 2 days of jazz at Dockweiler Beach, which is amazing, and right now it's not too crazy to get tickets, but I assume it will be getting crazier and crazier as time goes by. I know that the tickets are on sale right now, which is a good thing.
On sale, lajazzfestival.com. And to your point, we've passed July 4th. I break the summer up into Memorial Day, July 4th, and then I start to look how I'm going to close the summer out. I really couldn't think of a better way than doing it out on the beach.
Right.
Our closing weekend is Janelle Monáe, Raphael Sadiq, John Legend, Charlie Wilson, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. It's going to be an amazing show.
Right, and those are the names that the names that resonate in pop culture. But understand that there's also tons of jazz people. So if you're a hardcore jazz person, there's lots and lots of names for you. That's that 150. And the thing that is exciting is, aside from the weekend festival, there's all and the cultural tours. There's all these free shows too. There's free outside stage festival style shows, and then the small jazz after dark concerts inside restaurants and venues all over LA, and so track it. I mean, follow LA Jazz Festival on socials and track it. I just want to make sure I track it, because this Jazz After Dark, I have FOMO about it already.
That one's going to be exciting. You know, I like I laid out, I love the Jazz in the Park series. You know, we joke all the time of all the kid sports, but I really love LA's parks. I think, you know, they've been really a defining moment in a lot of people's lives, and to enjoy a Saturday or Sunday afternoon with some music in your favorite park is going to be an amazing experience as well.
For free. Let's not leave that part. Yeah, I mean, really, pretty much the only thing you would really pay for is the weekend, the Dockweiler Beach weekend, and that pretty affordable unless you go get yourself a fancy cabana. I'm trying to find a sugar daddy real quick so I can get get me a cabana. If I'm taking applications right now. I'm kidding. LA Jazz Festival.
The chat is going to be alive in a second.
Ed Sanders is with me. We do have a lot to talk about. So much going on in the world, in our city, in our country. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the things you may not know about. All that is on deck. You're welcome in at 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and you know where you are.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions. This is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Charmin Ultra Strong. You can use less, better than the rest. Charmin Ultra Strong. Your booty past the clean test. Salmon weave texture, it's the best. Study up, teach a lesson on fresh. Your booty past the clean test. Yes, sir. Charmin Ultra Strong.
Charmin Ultra Strong with diamond weave texture cleans better than the leading one-ply brand, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for, open 7 days a week.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try the catchphrase?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees and minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bankguide for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
She's sharp. She's fearless.
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how it's gonna get clicks, stop it now.
She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seals is here.
I am Amanda Seals.
Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. Starting Friday, July 17th, only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seals, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it.
You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works.
This is not your average radio show. This is a Seals Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
Let's do this.
Every vote matters. Every voice counts. And between now and November, the decisions made in Washington, Sacramento, and here at home in Los Angeles will shape the future of your family and your community. Don't leave it to chance, and don't leave it to guesswork. KBLA Talk 1580 is your source for the political conversations that matter most. Real talk, real insight, right here. KBLA Talk 1580, the place for politics. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, I'm going to say we did it, and this might sound crass. I don't mean to sound crass, but what I'm saying is that we, the people, specifically the black people, have moved the story of Nolan Xavier Wells, who was found dead after a trip to an island to party with his all-white friend group, and was never seen alive again. We've moved it into the mainstream. For the first 5-6 days, they were completely ignoring it. Now his mom is on Good Morning America, and the reason for that is us. And that, I'm pointing that out because it's a terrible tragedy. And now, when we started talking about it, no one was talking about it. Then it went crazy on social media. And now the mainstream news is taking it seriously. And I saw the same pattern with Trayvon Martin and many other cases. It's just it moves faster now because the pressure from social media is much greater.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. First things first, just heart-wrenching I watched the excerpt of the Wells family on Good Morning America, and it's just heart-wrenching to see parents lose a child. The circumstances around it, and to your point about why it takes us to move something like that, it's really hard to explain how a young African child can go to an island, and you can only get to that island by boat, right? It's not like you have another way off of that island. Goes with the group of friends, and the group of friends returns and leaves him. And the story just gets shakier after that. The release, or I guess the Facebook video of altercation of with him and yelling at some other person on the beach or whatnot. But the truth hasn't been put forward by any of the participants that took him to the island. And that's what's troubling. And you get the sense that this is the Deep South, this is Mississippi, right? And if an all-white friend group in Mississippi and a young black person has been killed, you get the sense that walking in, that law enforcement, and particularly the district attorney of the region, is going to do what they can to protect those white families. And you start with that because we've seen that time and time again. And it's interesting to watch, like, the police or the sheriff speak as though that's not the baseline. The baseline for us is that that law enforcement and the judicial system is going to protect those white kids as opposed to find justice for Nolan Wells.
That's pretty much what cultural competency means. It means we are going to see this situation differently. And if you don't get that, that means you're not culturally competent. This wasn't a puzzle. This was pretty basic. Black child dead, out with white friend group, Mississippi. Hello. And I think, that's not complex racial dynamic. That's 101. So, yes, they took a minute, but they're on it now. And you're right, Ed, there's so many conflicting things coming out. And again, Attorney Ben Crump, who apparently is the attorney for every black person in America, is now on this case. And since the mainstream media does tend to give him a platform, for whatever reason, and I'm glad that they do, now he's talking a lot. And he's pointing out the contradictions. And he's been on a lot of different platforms, calling stuff out, some of which those of us with common sense have already pointed out. But he's a lawyer, and he has presumably seen all the evidence that there is to see. I mean, the common sense stuff, there's no teenager that I know of that stays on an island without their phone. Not even elementary school kids will do that.
Right.
start there. That's suspicious.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, as a dad, and then if you take it away from them, it's like the end of the world. No, they're not. They're not just gonna. Oh, okay, I'll be over here without my phone. When they finally did track the phone using the Find My Phone feature, the mom says that a lot of things were deleted, including all of his Snapchat accounts. All the content on both Snapchat accounts. That's suspicious. It just is. The mom, the one mom who's a judge, put out a statement saying that the reason why the kids deleted their social media as soon as they got home, before the kid was even reported dead, allegedly, is because she was worried about the backlash to the children. Not because they did anything suspicious, but you want us to take your word for that. And there are on and on and on with things like that. The good news, Ed, one thing I found good is the sheriff's asking for patience now, saying that they have received an overwhelming number of videos and pictures and other tips from asking the public for stuff. So that means there's a lot of things. That means there's a lot of evidence.
Yeah, and to the point of discovery, and the point of the opening of this is, as more and more of that becomes public, it makes it more difficult for law enforcement to cover up. And
that's true.
That's the kicker here, right? Like, is you're trying to get as much of this out in the daylight now so that law enforcement can't hide it, because you just assume that that's what they're doing. I didn't catch that one of the kids on the boat was the child of a judge, right? That is a troubling relationship to try to navigate, if you've got a judge's child wrapped up in this.
Right. And I mean, her statement, it was a good statement, but she's a judge. So she's not going to write a terrible statement. She says she has 6 kids. She's worried about them being bullied online. She feels that we should all focus on helping the Wells family. It's a nice statement, but also you want us to take your word for it that it's not suspicious that all of the young people who were on the boat with this dead black child deleted their social media, and it's not suspicious.
Well, I actually would go a little further. I would see a judge making a public statement like that as trying to play a role in an investigation. I think that's a disbarment action there.
Interesting. I didn't think about that.
Not have been. They might not be named as suspects now, but you can anticipate that they would. And I've seen looser people get charged with obstruction of justice. That doesn't feel right.
I mean, and we already know that the reporting would be very different had the missing child been white and the other children been black. There's also statements that have come out by his black friends that cast doubt, I think, on the story that we're getting, and this is, I say, a good lesson in media literacy, because if you look at the way it's being reported, so many of the mainstream saying, well, there's no evidence of a crime, authorities are saying there's no evidence of foul play. Well, but there's no evidence of not foul play either, right? So why would you say that? You would say there's an investigation ongoing. You would say the family is asking for a full and transparent investigation. The attorney is saying that there's too many discrepancies, but that's not what they're leading with. And so to me, it's a great example of spin and how reporters knowingly and unknowingly spin stories.
Yeah, agreed. And I feel like every week we're going to talk about how reporters spin, right? And even in this story, to me, the focus has to pivot to the person that is going to make the call, right? And ultimately, the name of the district attorney in, where are they, in Mississippi? What is that, Jackson? Quick Google.
It's
Here,
not
Angel
Jackson. It's,
Myers McIlrath, right?
Yeah.
Is the district attorney in that region.
okay, in that
And-
county. Right, I got you.
Right. And so, like, the pressure needs to be applied there, right? People need to, put a mic in front of her. When are you going to name suspects, charge other suspects, right? And to your point, when you start listening or reading to some of the articles written and there won't be any pressure put towards her. It's talking about all the other things, to your point, which is spin, and it's directing you.
Okay, hold that
way.
thought, Ed. We've got news, traffic, and sports. Speaking of spin, we'll keep it going after that.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. More than 300 Marietta, Georgia residents packed a city council meeting this week to voice concerns about proposed data centers near their neighborhoods.
We don't really know the long-term effects of these things, but they're not going to be good.
Residents raised questions about the project's impact on quality of life as city leaders continue reviewing the plans. Former NFL linebacker Darren Lee has entered a no-contest style plea that's treated as not guilty under Tennessee law. Lee is charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Gabriella Perpetuo, whose body was found in their home earlier this year. He remains jailed without bond and is due back in court in October. And Sean Kingston's legal troubles aren't over. The rapper is serving a federal prison sentence for wire fraud, but he still faces state fraud charges in Florida. His attorney is seeking to have those charges dismissed, with a court hearing scheduled for October. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
July is Disability Pride Month, a time to celebrate identity, individuality, and inclusion. Pride means showing up as your full, authentic self without apology. Let's celebrate what makes every one of us unique. Easter Seals Disability Services honors Disability Pride Month. Learn more at socal.easterseals.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Coco Gauff will have to wait at least another year to win her first Wimbledon singles title. The 22-year-old African-American lost her semifinal match Thursday morning to Karolina Muchova of Czechoslovakia, 6-2, 1-6, and 7-6. Coco had a chance to win the match during the third set tiebreaker. She faltered on what should have been an easy forehand tap with Muchova out of position. This was the first time in 7 trips to Wimbledon that Coco had made it to the semifinals. The Dodgers have accepted an invitation from the White House to be honored by Trump for winning the World Series in 2025. The celebration is scheduled for July 23rd. Interesting decision by the Dodgers, who stood up to Trump's immigration raids last year in L.A. Dodger security personnel blocked ICE agents from entering Dodger Stadium property to look for suspected undocumented immigrants. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
As the poet laureate of Harlem, Langston Hughes, once said, I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. KBLA Talk 1580 and the Inner City Youth Orchestra of Los Angeles invite you to attend the 18th season finale concert, I Too Sing America, honoring the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, this Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Curated by conductor Charles Dickerson and performed by the largest orchestra of color in the nation, I Too Sing America promises to be a show you won't soon forget. This Sunday, July 12, 3 p.m. at the Walt Disney Concert Hall in downtown Los Angeles. Purchase tickets at icyola.org or from the Music Center box office at musiccenter.org.
I too sing America.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including Mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County Sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly. in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Right now, you're waking up with Dominique DePrima and Ed Sanders. There will be a press conference this morning, this afternoon, actually, with the family of Nolan Wells, along with Ben Crump, their attorney, and apparently Al Sharpton is going to be there. So we'll hear from them today. They have an independent autopsy that the family is paying for, and they have they're also, I guess they referenced this on the Good Morning America. I did not see that, but they referenced the fact that this video that's going around the internet that seems to show Nolan arguing with somebody is something that's in their possession, and makes it sound like they believe it is verified that Nolan is apparently arguing with someone, which makes it even more suspicious that he would just, I'm going to stay here on the island. His girlfriend, who's white, is cooperating with police, apparently. According to Crump, her story also contradicts the friends. He told her he was leaving with his friends, not staying there. And why do the friends have the phone and leave him there without his phone? That doesn't make sense. But they're going to speak at the press conference. They'll have Reverend Sharpton and Attorney Crump, and we will see if there's new information coming out based on their own investigation that the family is doing. Ed, you there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's you see, you can feel the Mississippi Burning movie plot being written in real time. The coordination of those kids and sort of their story is going to unravel. And I think we all assume that there's more to what the story than what they're telling us. As that happens, it's going to be interesting in this environment. The way the media, the way the country reacts to this is going to have some ramifications, not just in Mississippi, but across the board. You just wait to see how this starts to get spun out of the White House, out of from sort of both corners. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to watch.
Well, I think that black people are way ahead of the narrative on this, and I've seen a lot of posts by white allies as well, a ton of them. So we'll see. Like you said, the White House can say what they say, and they're always, I can't believe the stuff they're writing about Carmelo Anthony on my page, because I've posted in support of him, the racist vitriol. But nevertheless, we were talking about it long before they were talking about it, so I don't think most people, at least in our community, are going to be swayed by those spins that they're going to be doing.
And I'm glad Attorney Crump was there to help lead with an independent investigation, right? Like, we know that takes resources, and we know that that's not, an easy thing to just call up. And so, his ability to marshal the resources in order to do that will give the transparency that the family needs.
Yeah, and Carmelo Anthony's family is trying to get a new trial, and saying that there was impropriety, in which we already know. They had a very conservative Republican judge. The white supremacists were out there. I've been attacked online for taking a position about him, but they want that judge to recuse himself. And they say that the conviction itself should be overturned because prosecutors coerced him into waiving his right to testify. And they also said that the lawyers said prosecutors broke their promise that they were only going to build their case based on what happened that day, rather than trying to add any other evidence about the Anthony's character or the Metcalf twins character. So, I don't know, Ed. It's feeling very, as Miles said, very 2020 between Baby Cohen, the 1-year-old being murdered by cops, also in Mississippi, and then Carmelo Anthony being given a 35-year sentence in Texas for self-defense against a pair of well-known bullies almost twice his size, and then, the acquittal of that shopkeeper who murdered a 14-year-old kid. And there's a bunch of others. So many you can't even track them. It's beginning to feel very overwhelming in that sense.
Yeah, and there is, because when you start the stories that you laid out, one of the common themes there is young people, in death, and that, to your point, that makes these heavy stories, right? And we think about them, and subconsciously we all hate to see a young person lose their life or young person be involved in legal proceedings like this, and that's a weight that we all weigh on. It just is an added burden for us to process that. I'm glad we can talk about it, but to your point, we are, understand it, reflect on it, advocate where we can, but also understand that it has an impact to you as well.
Yep. Well, pivoting here to LA for a moment, are we really in trouble? Because, the LA Times headline screams that LAUSD faces severe signs of insolvency and that the county could be taking over, just as it looks like Inglewood is going to get control of their schools back because of these budget crises. But yet every time there's a strike, the teachers union and other allies point out that the LAUSD has this multi-billion-dollar rainy day fund. So how are we in danger of insolvency and we have a multi-billion-dollar rainy day fund? I cram to understand.
To the start of the show, that's the OG reference right there.
There you go.
This one I'm watching. This is it looks like first shots across the bow being fired, right? School districts across the state have to balance, and LAUSD in particular, declining student enrollment, right? Because that's the formula by which your budgets get funded. And so the first piece is trying to understand, where and what the number of kids that we've got to service over the coming years, right? And that has an impact on the budget.
Yeah, but they're saying that because there's such a steep drop in enrollment, and that's, that's happening in every school district too, right? That's not just an LA thing. And I don't know, do we have less kids? A lot of kids are homeschooling. You've got the charter explosion. Whatever the reasons, people are paying for independent schools for their children, whatever the reasons, the enrollment is down. But also they always quickly blame the unions. Oh, it's the expensive union contracts. Well, maybe it's all of these expensive administrative consultants that you have in the district itself more than the teachers' salaries that are the problem.
Yeah, and what jumped out at me in the story was it wasn't just that they blamed the unions and the employee contract. They took a shot at the Black Student Achievement Program.
Right.
And
which they tried to defund this year and were not able to do.
Right, exactly. And so limited cuts to that program is not bankrupting the school district. And, there are
that's true. We're talking
programs.
billions, right? First thing you
Right.
want to cut is something that makes black students close the gap that you claim you've been trying to close for years.
Right, that you never have. And it was in the article the way it was. That jumped right out at you. You get the sense that with that, along with the blaming of unions, that there's a different sort of narrative here, and it you got to step back and wait and see. The school district is not in default today. This is all about sort of the coming years.
The future. Right. Good point. And the new superintendent, Andre Shate, said there's no reason to freak out, which is good. I like that for him. But also, I get the sense that the LA Times is owned by a Asian South African billionaire. That's what I get the sense of.
Well, which is why the narrative of, the hit on unions and then the hit on the black student achievement comes in, Again, we're being spun. And so, got to keep that in mind as you read this. A problem is not a problem until it is. They are commenting on, potential. And
yeah, we could have a problem. So now they've assigned, the county has assigned a fiscal expert, whatever that is. The county got so many financial problems themselves. I kind of find that laughable. But anyway, Octavio Costello out of the county education office will be the fiscal expert. Maybe he can fix the county's problems too while he's at it.
Exactly. He can fix all of our economic problems.
Yeah. My house might need a makeover too, for that matter.
Yeah,
You're right.
he can come take care of some of my bills.
Well, I didn't realize that LAUSD was down by almost half. I mean, there's about 400,000 students in the district, which is still huge, but that's half of what it was in 2000. I didn't realize that. And they're claiming the district hasn't adjusted staffing to match. Well, I would say let's start with all these high-paid administrators, and consultants and all these useless software programs and different kinds of, let's not cut the teachers. That's not where you cut. And let's not blame the unions. But yeah, I think I like your take on it, which is, don't panic. They're talking about what could happen. A lot of things could happen. The union's saying they're not factoring in money that we know is highly likely to come in. So we shall see.
That's one of those boom year. There's been, some significant stock market revenue that the state will see in its state budget just from, the way the economy has grown.
Just because because they're in the stock market, and Donald Trump only cares about people that are in the stock market. So we may get a small benefit from that. I'll take it.
That's kind of forever thing, right? Like that the stock market goes up, it goes down. And when it goes down, then we could be facing, serious cuts.
Doom and gloom.
It's a problem for a state budget anyway, because it happens, across the board, right? And I know through the years, folks have tried to put rainy days to account for that. And, it always hits us because we're in a one-year budgeting cycle.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know some folks have advocated for a 2-year budgeting cycle, at least for the city. That failed once again. With the charter reform. Everything failed with the charter reform. It was the charter nothing burger, apparently. A whole bunch of effort for no outcome here in LA. But Ed, speaking of messes, they're saying monsoons. I heard it was rain, and now LA Times is saying monsoons this weekend.
I saw that. I've been cracking up. In the middle of the summer, I'll be honest, I have not been reading the weather forecast. It's just been hot, And
I always call them monsoons, but I'm being hyperbolic. I guess these are actual monsoons. gusty winds, lightning, but very little rain. So sort of fire starter storms.
Yeah. I mean, you lay that out there. I was actually kind of interested just to see the weather, right? Like, I remember, was that a year or 2 years ago where we thought we were going to get a hurricane? So I sit and read stories like this, like, okay, this is going to be new. I'm curious to what it is. But to your point, if it's dry and windy that in Los Angeles, that brings up a whole host of issues and flashback for us.
Yeah, but they are saying Monday, Tuesday we'll get some rain. So hopefully nothing will start before Monday and Tuesday, and once that rain comes in, it'll, make things less risky because it makes everything wet.
Indeed.
Storm
I'm sure we'll
watch.
be fine.
It's first things first. Storm watch.
A monsoon in California.
Well, remember we had that Twister was in Bell or something. This climate emergency is on and popping. Ed Sanders is here. We will continue the conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Tired of being locked out of job opportunities and shut down by systemic racism? KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in fighting for the rights of black workers, and we don't black down. The Los Angeles Black Workers Center is a dynamic alliance of workers, organized labor, community-based organizations, clergy, students, and scholars working collectively to improve the position of the black working class. The LA Black Workers Center takes a comprehensive approach to addressing the black jobs crisis. Their programs promote access to quality jobs, racial equity in hiring and retention, discrimination-free job sites, and they prepare black workers for employment in high-wage career track jobs. The LA Black Workers Center supports workers who need help protecting their rights on the job. They give workers access to quality jobs and remove systemic barriers to employment. And they are advocating for a fair deal for black workers in the new Los Angeles City Charter. To sign up for free career readiness training, get involved in organizing, or learn about union apprenticeship programs and trade registries, please visit lablackworkercenter.org. That's lablackworkercenter.org. Together, we can beat the black jobs crisis and build a more equitable Los Angeles. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got to laugh the pain away.
Join Chris Spencer and Friends live. Chris Spencer and Friends take the stage Sunday, July 12th, 5:30 p.m. at the Alex Theater for Stand Up for Students, a night of comedy benefiting Pasadena Rosebud Academy. Pasadena Rosebud Academy was lost in the Altadena Eaton fire. For over 20 years, they held our kids down. Now it's time for us to hold them up. Chris Spencer and Friends, featuring Reg Thomas, Felicia Folks, Chase Anthony, and Jesus Trejo, with DJ Aisha Irene on the music. One night, big laughs, real community. Join James Farr of KBLA Talk 1580 and be part of a night where laughter meets purpose. Chris Spencer and Friends, Stand Up for Students, Sunday, July 12th at 5:30 p.m. Tickets at the Alex Theater box office and the Alex Theater website at www.thealex.com. TheAlex.com. Chris Spencer and Friends. Don't miss it.
We've got to laugh the pain away.
This event is sponsored by Bradlaugh APC.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. We have something you need to hear. Right now, you may qualify for low-cost home internet. And we're not talking about a catch. This is real. Many internet service providers offer low-cost internet plans if anyone in your household is enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, SSI, or is income eligible. There are a lot of families in our community who deserve to be connected. Here's all you do. Call 844-461-7893. That's the Get Connected call center. Real people ready to help you enroll today. Or go online to internetforallnow.org to find a provider near you. You may also qualify for a low-cost computer through Human IT. Connectivity is not a luxury. In 2026, it's a necessity. And you deserve access just like everybody else. Call 844-461-7893. That's 844-461-7893. KBLA's got you. If you missed any of this, you can always go to our website at KBLA1580.com. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 in partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, CETF.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
We are indeed, and you are invited in. Always 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That is the number to call. Ed, did you see this story about the LAPD officer who recorded his peers making racist comments while they were, in hopes that they would be held accountable? The cop's name is Daniel Flores. And apparently he was trying to out the racist and sexist and homophobic comments that were being made in order to report the cops that were doing it. But now prosecutors are talking about charging him because you're not allowed to privately record conversations. And so, we always talk about this idea that why don't the good cops turn in the bad cops, right? The so-called good cops turn in the so-called bad cops. I think a more accurate thing to say why don't the cops who are following the law turn in the ones who are breaking the law? And here's why. I mean, this guy, it's whatever the opposite of incentivizes, well, he's being punished for trying to expose the racism, homophobia, and sexism in the department. Make it make sense.
Yeah, you just gave me a tough challenge there.
Sorry.
Whistleblowing, right? It's something that in a lot of ways is a necessary component for public agencies to have transparency, right?
Yep.
You've seen whistleblowers, out of the CIA. I forget his name, but he had to run across and live in another country behind it. But protecting whistleblowers is a critical element of law enforcement and really the prosecutor, right? Like, I guess when I listen to this story,
Talking about Julian Assange.
Yeah, like when you go after a whistleblower like this, you're pulling the cloak back over policing, right? Like you're taking us back to the Daryl Gates and Sam Yorty days, where
Chelsea Manning. I mean, there's some two most famous ones. Yeah.
Because even in this, I don't know what happened with the officers that were recorded, right? Like the story only focuses on him as the whistleblower.
Well, they said that they turned the stuff over to the district attorney's office, and what comes back from Hockman's office is prosecute the guy who snitched on the racist and sexist. They're talking about illegal eavesdropping. I don't see anything in this article about prosecuting those folks for their racist, sexist, possible potential hate crime convos.
Right. And, to be clear, you aren't supposed to, record people without their permission. That is true.
Their attorney, though, is saying that the cop has authority because he was doing an investigation. So, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. You would still need a warrant, right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, and I would say this, like if you're an officer of the law, right, you take that oath and you swear by it. That oath governs you really almost in all aspects of life. And, evidence of that, I can't argue it here on the air. That's not, that's not the role.
90 recordings of slurs, and these are people, the officers, who get to decide who becomes part of the internal affairs task force. That is foundationally problematic.
Exactly. And
we are the people who investigate who gets disciplined, and we're the biggest sexist, racist of all. But no, we should prosecute the guy who made the recording. Yeah. All right, Ed.
Yeah.
Well, you know, time flies when you're on the radio. I know you got to go. You got kids to get ready for school and all the things. Thank you so much
They're
for
on
being
summer.
with. Oh, that's right. It's summertime. You can tell my kids in college. I'm totally out of the mommy commuter loop. Those hard days are over. Okay, so I expect to see you here in 2 weeks. Oh no, wait. Jazz Festival. Anyway, we can find you on Twitter. I know at Edward M. Sanders.
Yeah, and even more to the point, you know, I know we were talking about LA Jazz Festival. Take the time. I heard the commercial. The Inner City Youth Orchestra is having its summer concert this Sunday. Glad to hear the commercial on KBLA. I Too Sing America is going to be a beautiful show. If folks got time on Sunday, check it out.
Absolutely. Ed Sanders, always appreciate you. News, traffic, and sports, and then we're doing Freestyle Friedman Friday. Open phones. We've got amnesty for you. Let's talk about what we've learned. We might even have a quiz. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. More than 300 Marietta, Georgia residents packed a city council meeting this week to voice concerns about proposed data centers near their neighborhoods.
We don't really know the long-term effects of these things, but they're not going to be good.
Residents raised questions about the project's impact on quality of life as city leaders continue reviewing the plans. Former NFL linebacker Darren Lee has entered a no-contest style plea that's treated as not guilty under Tennessee law. Lee is charged with the murder of his girlfriend, Gabriella Perpetuo, whose body was found in their home earlier this year. He remains jailed without bond and is due back in court in October. And Sean Kingston's legal troubles aren't over. The rapper is serving a federal prison sentence for wire fraud, but he still faces state fraud charges in Florida. His attorney is seeking to have those charges dismissed, with a court hearing scheduled for October.